Good morning, students. We are going to see the expression for Newton's second law of motion. So let us start. As we know, momentum is equal to mass into velocity, and change in momentum can be due to change in mass, not due to change in mass, due to change in velocity of a body. So we can write v minus u. Since it's not so easy to bring about change in the mass of a body, so the momentum can be changed by changing the velocity of a body, and hence we can write delta p, that is change in momentum, is equal to m into v minus u. Now as we know that this change in momentum or change in velocity does not take place instantly. It takes some time to change the velocity, so we can write delta p by t, which is also called rate of change of momentum, is equal to m v minus u divided by t. Now rate of change of momentum can be written as m into a, that is mass into acceleration, which can further be written as f. And this is the expression for the Newton's second law of motion, which states that rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and the change in momentum takes place in the direction of the applied force. Now from this we can obtain one more relation, that to bring change in momentum of a body, either we have to apply a very large force for a short interval, or a very less force for a longer period of time. So keeping this concept in mind, we have certain applications based on Newton's second law of motion. First is that in order to catch a ball, a person has to withdraw his hand back. Now the reason for withdrawing the hand back can be understood from this concept, that when a person withdraws the hand, he is actually increasing the time interval to bring about change in momentum of a body. So due to increase in the time, less force will be exerted on the hand of a person, so he will not get hurt. This is first. Second, athlete often lands on sand or foam while taking a high jump. So you might have seen that. The reason once again is same, because the mattress or the foam or the sand gets compressed whenever athlete lands on it. So as a result, the time interval for the change in momentum of a body of an athlete increases, due to which less force is exerted, and again he will be avoided from getting hurt. Third, when glass is dropped on the ground, it breaks, but it does not break when the glass is dropped on the sand or on a carpet. The reason is once again the same, that when the glass is dropped on the carpet or the sand, the time interval to bring about change in momentum of a glass increases, which will decrease the amount of the force exerted on the glass, due to which it will not break. So these are the three applications. I hope it is clear. Let us now see one question from the exercise, that is exercise 3C, where question number 3 is given. Let me read out this question. A body of mass m moving with a velocity v is acted upon by a force. So we have question number 3. There is a body of mass m and it is moving with a velocity v. And is saying that a force is exerted or acted on this body to stop it. Now, question is, write expression for change in momentum in each of the following cases. So, of course, there will be change in the momentum of a body when we apply force on it, since there will be change in the velocity. So, you have to write down the expression for the change in momentum for different conditions of the body. And the first condition is given, number 1, when the velocity of a body is very less than the speed of the light. V is very less than the speed of light. Now, whenever the velocity of a body is much less than the speed of the light, there will not be any change in mass of the body. So as a result, we can say the change in momentum is not due to change in the mass, but due to change in the velocity of a light. So we can write change in momentum is equal to m delta v. So there is no change in the mass, but there is change in the velocity of a body. So this delta indicates small change in the velocity of a body. So this is the first condition, and based on this, this is the expression for the change in momentum. Now let us see number 2. When the condition is that velocity of a light is equivalent to speed of the light, that is almost equal to the speed of a light. Whenever the velocity of a body becomes equal to the speed of the light, in that case there will be small change in the mass of a body also. That means in this case the change in momentum will be due to change in the mass as well as change in the velocity of a body. So as a result, the expression for the change in momentum for this condition will be delta mass into v. So this small change is for both the quantity, that is for the mass as well as for the velocity. And I think it is well understood now why there is change in the mass of a body, because you can see the body is now moving with a velocity almost equal to the speed of the light. This is the second condition. Come to the third one. Third condition is when velocity of the light is much less than the speed of light, but m does not remain constant. So you can see the condition given is velocity is much less than the speed of light, but at the same time m is not constant. So usually when the velocity of a body is less than the speed of light, in that case there is no change in the mass, that is mass remains constant. But here the question is that m is not constant, though velocity of a body is less than the speed of light. Then in that case, since mass is not constant, that means there is change in the mass, and velocity will be changed due to the force being applied on it. That means here also the change in momentum will be due to change in mass of a body and also due to change in velocity. So we write the expression this way, that is change in momentum is equal to delta mv. I hope this part is clear. So we'll come with more numericals in the next class. Till then, thank you.